So we're going to start with product, and a lot of people ask, well, what's your product development process? Like, I've got this idea for a product, where do I go? Or I don't have an idea for a product, how do I start going about it? So I've kind of got like a little checklist here. I don't necessarily tick off every single one each time, but here's maybe my 8 or 9 key things for product development, which I have to consider when developing any product. So the first thing is what I call self-actualizing, creating the product that you want yourself. And what I mean by that is that we've all had an idea, or we've all picked up a product where we've been like, oh, I just wish they made it like this, or if they just had that feature, this would be so much better. And that's your trigger. That's the time when you have to be like, right, well, if that doesn't exist, let me go and create that, because if I want it, chances are there's hundreds of thousands of other people who also want that. So that's always my first thing. Like, once I've got an idea for something and I don't see it exists, like let's go for it, let's push it. And then after that, are you solving a problem? And what's your unique selling proposition over the leader? I honestly don't bother with products that are like, all right, let me just make it a little bit thinner, let me make it a little bit faster, let me make it a little bit like a different color. I'm like, what problem am I actually solving here? And I'm going to show you a pretty cool example on the next slide. But whenever I'm developing a product, I'm asking myself, what is the function of this product? What is the outcome that whoever purchases this product wants to achieve? And am I solving that problem for them? And that's something we're going to talk about shortly. Then, you might not necessarily know where to take it from there. And something I always do when I'm developing products is I create what's called like a mood board. And what I mean by that is that whatever that product may be, I'm looking at the colors that are in fashion this year, the suppliers that are available, what's going on in sustainability and packaging, and any sort of ideas I have for the product. I just save those images, like the market leaders, the brand leaders, I print those out, I stick them on the wall, and then I basically, it's like visual meditation. I can just see all those things, I connect the dots, and then that's it. I also like to buy my competitor samples, and this is probably something for a lot of Amazon sellers do, is that they read the reviews, the positive and negative, and make sure that you solve for all the positives, well, solve for all the negatives, and if there are positives in the reviews, then make sure you also have those as well. And then what are the inefficiencies that you've spotted reading those positive and negative reviews, and then have you solved for those as well. And one of the main things as well, on top of all that, is reading the Q&A. Like, for example, I was developing sleeping bags, and I read the Q&A of a competitor sleeping bags, and someone said, like, is this sleeping bag suitable for sleepovers? And now I'm like, well, that's a good keyword that I should put in this listing, sleeping bag for sleepovers. I'd never thought of that, but this is what customers are asking for. So just by reading the Q&A, it can give you an ideas for products. And then, for example, I'm like, well, if people are using these sleeping bags now for sleepovers, what do you normally have? Well, you have your phone. So now the sleeping bag has got like a little pouch on the inside, a little Velcro pouch where you can stick your phone in it. So it's little things like that. By reading Q&A, you'll see little words that trigger you, which then you think, well, can I add that into the product development of the product as well? And on top of that, write every feature that you want to solve in this product, and either solve it by yourself or with your supplier. And we're going to talk about suppliers shortly in the presentation, but your supplier is also manufacturing this product for different brands and countries all over the world. They're supplying sleeping bags to customers in Brazil, in Germany, in Japan. So if you're not doing it in the USA, they've been developing this product for other people. So if I'm like, hey, I've got this feature, I don't know quite how we're going to make it, but what do you suggest? They're going to come back with you to be like, all right, okay, cool. Well, we did this in Japan, we did this in Brazil, and just really have a working relationship with them, rather than being like, hey, what's your best price? What's your MOQ? It's now like, hey, I want to build this product for the long term. And, obviously your supplier is incentivized to help you with that as well, because the better product it is, the more that you're going to order, the more that you're going to sell, and then the more orders that they get as a result of it. So definitely utilize your manufacturers as well.
Hey, it's Riya Mittal here. Before you leave, make sure to subscribe to SellerApp's main YouTube channel, where we upload all things Amazon and some how-to guides that will make sure that you're winning on Amazon. You will not get this anywhere else. Until the next time, happy selling.